You'll all be able to hear me. Folks, seriously, I didn't know anything about Agenda 21 or Sustainable Solutions until 90 days ago. And it was both Rick and Mary and a couple other folks that sent me an email. And I just decided to start doing my own research. And really, within 48 hours, I mean, it's all out there. You can all do it, and you can all find out what we've been finding out. Of course, you don't have 500 available hours like these good folks have done. By the way, round of applause for the effort that these folks have put into this. But I can tell you I'm scared to death, and not a lot scares me. We are now faced with, in my view, the biggest loss of liberty and freedom that this country's ever faced since the Cold War. And it has worked its way in over a number of years. It started out as Agenda 21, no question about it. It's a twin. I think what happened was it just morphed into what Ken's talking about. It's all basically the same. And what it really comes down to in an encapsulated form is that the United States of America is far too prosperous. We're far too rich and wealthy, far too successful. And what this is about, this whole agenda, is bringing us down to equality with the rest of the world. This isn't just the United States that this is going on, and it's worldwide. You know, I used to think people were nuts when they talked about one world order or one world government. And when I even heard about Agenda 21, it's an aluminum foil cap. Not anymore. Not anymore. This is for real. It's happening in our towns. When I found out about it, and it was Mary and Rick that gave me the document that they showed you. I have a copy myself in Dover 2023. And I started reading up even more. I went to the city council meeting, and we all spoke against it. And everybody that was there did speak against it. We got it tabled. And that's just tabled. And I think Ken did the same thing. We were feeling pretty good about ourselves when we walked out of the meeting. And then we wound up going to the transportation session, was it Monday night? And then Tuesday night, last night, we went to the planning board meeting. And I walked out of the planning, we all spoke against this, along with another gentleman who was originally working for these folks, who realized what was going on and it was a scam. And my good old friend Matt Kittredge calls it a Trojan horse. That's exactly what this is. It's riding in under the green mast, and that's what Rose's book is about. They're using the green environmentalist pathway. Sounds all sweet and nice, and it's just, and they use it because all of the verbiage sounds so good. But I have come to the conclusion, and I mean this sincerely, and Rick, that's a good idea. I think we need a two-pronged attack. I think what you want to do is a good idea. It's going to take a lot of time and effort for some folks. But really, Nancy, I'm glad you're here, Senator Stiles and Brian, because I'm going to tell you right now, legislatively, we got to kill this. And I'm telling you, it's urgent. And the legislators that don't know about this and are unaware of this need to become aware of this. Now, I've talked to Bill O'Brien. Speaker O'Brien has agreed. I would try to do this on Monday while Rosa is here to let her address the legislators. And I don't care, both sides of the fence. I think this crosses over to the other side of the fence. Rosa Cure is a liberal Democrat. She started a website, Democrats Against Agenda 21 and Sustainable Solutions. So this reaches across. It really does come down to liberty and freedom and property rights and the loss of them. I went in at the transportation meeting, and I went and said, asked a couple questions. I said, listen, if my property falls within that half a mile and my house burns down, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if I want to add on to the house or the property that might be in that corridor? What happens? What happens if I want to sell my house and it's in that corridor? I got no answers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I tell you what the answers are. If your house is in the corridor and it doesn't fit with what they're going to try to do, you're not going to be able to rebuild it. You're not going to be able to add on. You're certainly not going to be able to sell it if it's in the corridor and you're trying to sell it. Then what happens to your property value? It plummets. They have money set aside for that, because what will happen is they're going to come in and take that property, pennies on the dollar. Federal government has bucks to buy it up. They're all trying to bring us into small colonized communities, walkable communities, with public transportation, minimal vehicles. And you're only going to be able to be subsidized with food and foodstuffs from farms that only will be able to provide enough for the people in those communities. They're going to nudge you into that. That's what this is about. I know it's unbelievable. Some of you are looking at me going, oh my God. This is what it's about. And it's that important that our legislators pay attention to this, because I don't want to see all of you running all over the state, going crazy, going to these meetings and fighting people who, quite frankly, in many instances, have no clue what they're signing on to. Others do, but others don't. And this grabbing for money, federal dollars, has got to stop. We don't have any money. And we don't have any money in the local communities as well. What are we doing? I mean, I love the community I live in. I think Portsmouth, that's a beautiful community. Rye's a beautiful community. It's time to fight for those communities. It's time to fight for our rights and our freedom, and this is what this fight is about. So I would say the first order of business, aside from what Rick is trying to do to get other people involved to fight this, because we are losing time. Look at how many towns are already signed on board. 11 just in Rockingham. My town too, we're fighting this. And Ken's fighting it over in Wyndham. And Keene's on board. You got Nashua as the head of this.
Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester's signed on too. So, what I suggest strongly is, and now that we have Senator Stiles and Brian here and they've heard some of this, that you guys go back and talk to your counterparts in the legislature and really be the lightning rods, if you would, to get something done, and done quickly. I do know, by the way, that it was Senate Bill 1507, but I don't know what happened to it, Senator.
It seems to me that the House attached an amendment onto that, and I think both things died.
I think that's, am I right?
I think
Yeah, Senate. Let me check. No, this was the Senate bill. This is the Senate bill. But I think that's what it was. But anyway, that's all I really want to say. But I do want you to know that I'm revved up. I'm on board, big time, and there's no quitting me. And we've got to move forward and end this scourge. Thank you.
Crop TV.